Now playing the second here at the par 4. Here we go. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Really starting to shine, moves to 10 under for the tournament.
Well, Rich, 2 rounds in the books, and it's easy to see why the leaders are on top of that leaderboard.
Excellent performance, but still a long ways to go in this tournament. EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the International Challenge. Well, that was a beautiful drive, Frank. Really good position to take advantage.
Sitting up beautifully in the fairway.
Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Wow, Nate's eagle makes everybody else look sort of average, Frank.
And look at the size of that lead on the leaderboard now.
Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just a little cut off the tee.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Oh, what an incredible shot. Ball's teed up, ready to fly here at the 7th.
Yeah, it's a slight elevated tee, so you see all the problems in front of you. A couple of bunkers down the left, 2 down the right, but it's links golf, so you know where you got to go. That's in between them.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Putting on a show, this tournament moves to 15 under par. Frank, the 9th hole, 423 yards, not especially long by today's standards. You looking to make birdie here, or you happy to make a par and move on to the back 9?
Well, there's certainly a chance for birdie. One of the hardest things about the 9th is the raised green. And it's sort of, there's 2 tiers here, just the top level. If that pin is on the top level, then you would certainly walk away with 4 very happily.
Now it's right in his wheelhouse, good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there. Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the International Challenge. Always great to be in Troon, Scotland, at the Royal Troon Golf Club, founded in 1878. Frank, it is a golf course, true links. It's bathed in history. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seviesque. You'd like that one again?
Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Didn't fare too well on this hole yesterday. Made a bogey. He'll take par and move on. At the 15th, this par 4 is over 480 yards.
The key here really is the three bunkers, two on the left, one on the right. 260 yards gets you past that. If you find the fairway here, then you don't have to worry about the three bunkers that are short of this green.
That was just a beautiful drive. He hit it solid and right in the middle. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Now this for birdie. Came away with a bogey on the previous round.
Really solid stroke.
The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
What a drive. Just tattooed that.
Second shot.
Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. Always love to hear the sound at the bottom of the cup. Frank, here's the only par 5 on the back nine at Royal Troon.
You'd think at 542 yards it would be reachable, but the burn that cuts across really limits the tee shot to about 280 yards. So it's very much about placing that second shot in a good distance for your third.
In the 1997 Open Championship here at Royal Troon, you played with Tiger Woods in the third round. What did he do at this 16th hole?
He hit a driver for his second shot into a head breeze from about 270 yards. Managed to get it on the green, then knocked it in from about 45 feet for eagle.
You knew he was something special back then, didn't you?
Yeah, he was the only one that even tried that shot.
Par yesterday, now for birdie. Everybody loves him. Birdie on the card. Finally, the 18th at Royal Troon. History, skill, nerves, bunkers, of course, and the clubhouse. Frank, they all come into play on this final hole.
Yeah, 3 bunkers down the left. It's not a case of hitting past those, it's avoiding them. And then if you avoid it too far to the right, there's one nicely placed about 300 yards off the tee that'll catch you there. So there's somehow you've got to craft a tee shot to miss all 4 of those bunkers.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
To win the International Challenge. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present opening round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Today we're here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada. Rich Loader alongside Frank Nobilo set to bring you all of the action for the EA Sports Spring Invitational. And Frank, what can the players expect from Wolf Creek?
Just a mesmerizing layout, Rich. You can see that from above. Straight driving is imperative out there today. You actually don't have to hit the ball a long way. The elevation on those tees is going to give you that extra distance on almost every shot. You can even take driver out of play on some of the holes. But really it's about being in the right position first on those tee shots that you're going to hit today.
We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Birdie try up next. Getting set now over the putt. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
He has this for par. Good stroke right there. That's a par and stays at 1 under. Let's go over to the 5th hole. Early in the round and playing reasonably well. Nothing great, but has certainly not given a whole lot away.
Yeah, and actually a good position to really springboard the round from here. Tom Weiskopf was one of my idols growing up. I loved the way he swung. That swing right there reminds me of my idol.
It looks like Rory McIlroy, Frank, sticking the follow-through.
That's beyond long.
That is a sensational play right there, and you have to think that the little helping breeze gave that a nice boost.
He can't be that good.
This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
He's hit it very close, and he will have that, Frank, for an eagle.
It's amazing how quickly the round changes. He'll quickly pick up 2 shots on the field.
Frank, here at the 6th, where are you looking to land the ball off the tee?
Got to be careful here for the longer hitters, Rich. Driver actually might be too much. That stream that we just saw at the par 5 fifth hole, it also comes across here. So something that lands short of that, which is in the vicinity of 280, 290 yards. That's the key. From there, well, you're not going to have too much more in, sort of 140, 150 yards in. It is a dogleg right, but find that fairway there. Second shot and play just a fraction uphill. And this green, it's got more humps and hollows in it. It's to be expected, though. This course is absolutely crazy.
Second shot here at the 6th at Wolf Creek. What do you think of this approach, Frank?
Well, it's decision time, really, Rich. Do you want to try and fly it onto this green, or do you try and run it in between those 2 bunkers? Personally, I think you've got to fly it because you've got a backstop behind this green. All the mountains that sort of protect the back of the screen. If anything, it should run back on.
That was a nice birdie, and no doubt he's feeling pretty good about his position on this leaderboard.
A series of good holes in a row has got him to this point.
Now on to the par 4 7th hole. Is this a reachable par 4, Frank?
Distance-wise, you would think so, but the designer has done something to avoid that, and that's put all this water in front of the green. It would take a mammoth tee shot, and it's something like 300 yards through the air if you're going to try and even drive this green. Is the risk worth it? Well, if you're just playing with your friends, maybe it is. Otherwise, you just lay it up just past those those bunkers on the right and the left. Get it down there on the flat. A little pitch you would think is simple, but because of the slope of this fairway, chances are you might not get a flat lie, and that's going to make that second shot that much harder.
Trying to generate some momentum here at the 7th hole. This for birdie. This is a good move. Another birdie. Now to 5 under for the tournament. Frank, this is the kind of hole that you like to drop a bag of balls and just have fun. Hit it all day long as if you were at the range. Unfortunately, you only get one crack, and you better be good. This is a tough hole.
Well, if you find the water, actually, you might get another one up there. It certainly is a tough hole, though, Rich. The stream going all the way down the left-hand side, and it wraps right around the left and behind the screen, makes that tee shot, well, it certainly makes you think about that tee shot while you're on the tee. Prudent play, aim for the right edge of the green. Nothing wrong if you just miss the green on the right, but miss the green by a yard on the left, you pay a very steep price.
Bang. Has it. Finishing up this front side here at the par 4 9th, 390 yards. And what are we looking at, Frank?
Well, it looks relatively straightforward, but it's anything other than that. Decision time again. Do you lay it up into that wide area of the fairway? If you're a longer hitter and you are out here to have a little bit of fun, then maybe you want to take the head cover off because you get a little bit of an advantage if you can drive it over that last bunk on that right side, or at least take that out of play, because you're only going to have a short pitch in here.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range. On fire right now, 7 under par. Frank, you surprised to see that name on top of the leaderboard?
I am surprised to see the name, but not that style of golf leading. It was great performance, especially tee to green. You don't often see people start that quickly.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present second round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
I'm loving that balance.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball.
And this shot, he is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. That is how it's done right there. What an approach shot. Birdie putt coming up. Had a par on this hole yesterday.
You'd like that one again?
Oh, man.
Just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Just a couple of feet.
And that par certainly won't hurt the cause.
Still some time. How about this hole, Frank? Par 5, 5th.
If you stand on this tee for the first time, you've got virtually no idea where you've got to aim. Do you aim it left of those bunkers? Do you aim it over the sort of the canyon? Really, the answer is how far do you hit it, because that is going to determine the line that you hit it on. Avoid the water, that little stream. You can always have a drink on the way if you want to, I guess. Second shot plays uphill, but this is a relatively short par 5, so very reachable. But you can see you've got to flight that second shot. You want to make sure that ball's coming in nice and high to this green that's perched up.
Frank, that is how it's done.
Yeah, take a gross of those. That is a lesson in itself.
And now a chance for eagle. Really hitting on all cylinders now. 9 under for the tournament. Frank, standing on the 6th tee and looking out at this golf course, I can't help but think that if you hit it offline here, you're going to be playing golf with the billy goats.
Yeah, you might actually turn into a billy goat come the end of the day, that's for sure. The huge elevation changes, once again, are apparent here at the 6th. Tis a dogleg to the right, not really a driver unless you want to sort of bring that creek into play, or that little stream that cuts across. Second shot, a little bit uphill. Those bunkers are really where you shouldn't go. We all know that. And this green is anything other than flat. A fun-looking hole, too, and a fun hole to play.
Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Pretty good stroke right there. Just hit it through the break.
Well, it's that sort of distance. If it goes in, it's a bonus.
You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
Settles in over the putt. In for par. Well, everybody loves the short par 4, and here we have one, Frank, just 302 yards, the 7th hole.
And this hole is anything other than straightforward, Rich. Huge drop off at the front of the screen that is surrounded by water. So it's going to be a layup off the tee, really, to try and get the right yardage. This green is very, it's not very deep, but it's extremely wide. The hardest thing is to try and get a flat lie with whatever club you decide to hit off the tee and get the right yardage. Otherwise, that green actually might be a little elusive, even though this is a very short hole. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Trying to make yet another birdie.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center.
Just dwindling the holes down. Piles are fine right now.
Frank, the par 3/8 really is Wolf Creek in a nutshell. It's hard, and it's really pretty.
It is, and it's really long, too. Just under 250 yards off that back tee. Slight bit of elevation, but you can see from the tee, obviously, where you don't want to go and where you do go. If you're a little, tender of heart, then aim for the right side and avoid all that water down the left.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
Put a birdie on the card here yesterday, don't forget.
These putts keep the round together.
Well, that would have been a bonus had it gone in, but still, reasonable chance for par here.
Yeah, there's no damage. You're not going to birdie every hole.
Well, you can't make them all. You'd like to, but you can't.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Now slipping back into a tie atop the leaderboard after that bogey.
It's scary. Looks like they've found reverse gear. Not a good sign.
Gives up a shot, slides down into a tie for first after that bogey. EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present third round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good. Par yesterday, now for birdie. Putting up some impressive numbers out here now, 9 under for the tournament.
Frank, a very short par 4 here at the 7th, but not one you're going to try to hit off the tee?
No, unless you can fly the ball sort of 300 yards on the nose and stop it within sort of 5 or 6 yards, it's really too risky. This green is not very deep, just sort of 10 or 15 yards in depth. It's just a layup hole, but layup hole it simply doesn't mean grab a club and hit it down the fairway. The best way to play it is to try and hit the ball right on the number. And what I mean by number, I mean the full shot yardage for your second shot, even if that only is a sand iron.
Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. No putter, no problem. Slams that into the cup. Par 3/8, 248 yards down to the green. What a hole.
Yeah, maybe put your 2 hands together, make a little prayer. You might make 2, but make 3 here and run to the next tee. This is it's just a gorgeous par 3. But it is tough. Every bit as tough as what it is pretty, as a matter of fact.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up.
And getting ready for the putt. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par.
Set to round out the front side here at Wolf Creek with a par 4.
Fun hole for the big hitter, too. They can really take advantage of this. The last fairway bunker down there on the right side is just over 300 yards to get over it. And longer hitters could nearly drive it in the green side bunker on the right. So just tee it up there. You're playing desert golf for a reason. Enjoy it. Just have a little flick in here. A chance, too, to have a little birdie at the end of your front 9.
What a display of power and precision off the tee. On the green here on the par 4 in 1.
Bogey here yesterday, chance to better that today.
That was a good run at it, Rich.
Bogey here yesterday, now this for birdie. He's going to beat himself up on the way to the next tee. You don't miss those putts. Clean this up with a tap. And he has it.
A good putt redeems all.
Now, the start of the back nine here at Wolf Creek Golf Club in Mesquite, Nevada, or as I like to call it, Mind Blower Golf Club. Frank, everywhere you look, it's just a mind blower. I mean, this one is hard to believe.
Well, this one's also a hard hole. 472 yards off the back tee. The fairway is a little wider than what it looks off the tee because that sort of desert ridge on the right side there, that blocks part of the fairway. So if you can imagine that fairway opens up a bit, then you'll be fine. A good tee shot down here, especially with that elevation there. That should shorten the hole up a little bit. 270 yards gets you past all those bunkers on the left side. They'll take those out of play. And once again, a little bit uphill, and you see the green shapes a little bit to the right. So make sure you're aware of where that flag is.
What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
That incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament.
On to the 11th hole, we're looking downhill, 215 yards to the green.
And this is one of the holes that you realize you're at Wolf Creek. You would never see this hole anywhere else in the world. It's amazing when you stand on this tee. You see all of the canyons around, but there is a little green area down there surrounded by a couple of bunkers. It's a great-looking par 3. It measures 215 yards, very playable, and you never know, today might be the day where you make birdie.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Now this for birdie came away with par in the previous round. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, that front page of the leaderboard has been looking good all week.
You're exactly right, Rich. I think our winner is certainly going to come from that list right now. I'm excited for tomorrow's final round.
EA Sports and the Wolf Creek Golf Club so proudly present final round coverage of the EA Sports Spring Invitational.
Well, he's going to have to hit the same club a lot harder or just hit another one.
Should be safely on deck.
Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Birdie try again here today. Had a nice birdie on this hole yesterday. Go ahead and do that for birdie. Frank, another really rugged hole. This is the par 3 11th here at Wolf Creek.
Rich, remember that book, Dead Solid Perfect? This is what this hole's all about, because you must hit that tee shot solid. You've got to carry all the trouble in front of you. And remind yourself, too, there's enough green grass down there. Not necessarily green, but green grass around there. A good shot safely on the putting surface here. And this green's not too severe. But this is a fun par 3 just to look at, or even at least experience.
Not a gimme, but well within his range. So the dominant performance continues.
Well, we're watching two tournaments right now, the one at the top and the rest.
Beautiful rhythmic swing right there and right down Peachtree. Frank, if the player wants to reach this par 5 in 2, there is some risk if you want that reward.
There's in the reward, obviously, a chance to putt for eagle here on this, the longest green on the golf course, 55 yards deep to be precise. And the risk that you're talking about, bunker and water left, and if you stray right, water on the other side. So this is one shot that you want to be coming straight out of the gate and at least hitting in the center of the screen. Otherwise, we're not sure of the outcome.
Good putt. '13th hole, and Frank, Wolf Creek is really kind of a macho golf course because you can stand on a tee like this and say, you know what, I'm going to take this one over the mountains.
And then, if you do, then you flip the coin. Is it in play or is it out of play? This is one hole. You just you realize you're in the middle of the desert, that's for sure. And one hole that you think, if I play this hole a couple of times, I might just get the hang of it.
Oh, my goodness. That is on in one. Wow. What an incredible shot.
That's an absolute beauty.
Getting set now over the putt. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, describe the layout here at the 14th hole. It's 444 yards, and what a beautiful hole.
It is, and it's a beautiful view. You see everything from the top of that tee there. It's a hole that keeps bending to the left. There's enough bunkers down the left there to actually take your eye. That's why you've got to fixate on something in the distance that's a much better line than worrying about that wall of sand down the left side.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So they'll tap in. Did the job right there. Now to the short par 3 15th hole here at Wolf Creek. What is this, Frank? Just a wedge or a 9-iron?
That's all, Rich, but it's very tempting to get greedy here. And, well, you pay the price, obviously, if you miss the green on the left down on those bunkers because they're a good 6-7 feet below the level of the green. But with a wedge or a 9-iron, who doesn't go aiming at the flag?
That is a beauty, a real beauty. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. He's made it. Now to the 16th hole as we get set for the finishing stretch. And Frank, what's the best way to play this relatively short par 4?
Somehow you've got to straighten the hole up in your mind's eye, Rich. Just look all the way across that canyon and look like the hole was built straight, because really that's the way it should be played. If you start looking left and turning it into a dogleg, then all of a sudden bad things can happen. So look straight at the green. That's your line. Just try and bisect those two fairway bunkers.
Frank, downhill shot here. Will he have to take it just a little bit easier?
Yeah, be careful with the ball position as well. If you play the ball too far forward and try and scoop it, it's not going to work.
See if he can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. So 2 holes left to play. Now the final par 5 on the course, 562 yards, the 17th.
The drive looks relatively straightforward, and I say that because there's a little creek down there that obviously you have to stay short of. But that's the fun part. They want to keep you back in an area where you go, can I hit the second shot across the stream, across the water, and still keep it on the green? And the answer is, I don't know.
Second shot coming out of the rough here.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here.
Well, that's how you play the game, right there.
So a tester from 4 feet.
There it is for eagle. Now the closing hole here at Wolf Creek. Frank, what's ahead of us?
You could try and drive at this green, but there's too much trouble, really, Rich. Even though this hole's just over 300 yards, it's very ambitious to try and drive it across that water. Some might try. Most people try and hit a tee shot 240, 250-yard mark, and of course, you do the maths, you're only going to have 60 or 70 yards in, and, well, they want you to finish on a good note. So good drive in the fairway here, or 3-wood, pitch it on the green, make a 3, and buy your friends a drink in the clubhouse.
So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
This to win the EA Sports Spring Invitational. Just a beautiful roll there.
Oh, that's like stealing.
Just a fantastic week of golf. Add that one to the win count.
A lot of great quality players out there, and to come on top of that leaderboard is truly a great accomplishment.